if you're facing ups and downs in your marriage, if you feel that there is a negative change in your spouse's behavior, or your marriage happened with a lot of pomp and show, with lots of love and affection, and all of a sudden you've started feeling, is it going to work? Then this video is for you, because there could be a retrograde planet sitting in the 7th house of your spouse or in your chart, which could be responsible for all this dynamism that is happening. So let's see what the retrograde planet can do in our 7th house. See, the retrograde planet in the 7th house, it can bring about multiple marriages. Retrograde planet is a one that keeps moving to and fro. So this planet in itself indicates multiplicity in its work. 2. Retrograde planets are intensely karmic. They are unusual. Why are they unusual? Because when you talk about a planet, you talk as if the planet is moving forward, it's moving straight. But when you look into the skies and you see a retrograde planet, it seems to be moving backward. So they are unusual, they are different. So they give different effects. So the marriage could have its unusual behavior and unusual pattern. Now retrograde planets are extremely karmic. What do I mean by karmic planets? When I talk about this karmicity, you have to understand that the retrograde planet is very close to Earth. Anything that is close to you, that will have a very strong impact on you. So this retrograde planet, which is very close to me, will have a very strong impact on me as compared to the other planets. So that intensity that this retrograde planet, wherever it is sitting, whichever house it occupies, wherever it is the Lord of, can be seen. Now if it's sitting in my 7th house, obviously it will give me an intensity in my marriage, or a very different karmic relationship in my marriage. Now if it can also give delays, understand it is moving 2 and 4 and it takes some time to move to its place that it is supposed to go. For example, if Saturn is placed in the 7th house, it will give you delays in marriage. Saturn is a planet of delay and then it's retrograde, it is giving me delays. It can give you a non-committal view also. That is, you may be moving back and forth about your commitments. You may not want to commit to anything. And that can happen with Mercury. We all know that Mercury is a baby. We all know that Mercury is a child. So that Mercury, what does it do? It may not want to commit. So it will move to and fro. Okay, let's get married. No, we will not get married now. Now that Mercury, it can give me, it can at once prompt somebody to say, yes, I want to get married. The next time it can prompt somebody to say, no, no, let's not get married now. So these things can happen. That is non-commitment. Then it can give you unusual relationships, the LGBTQ kind of relationships. If Mars and Venus are retrograde in the 7th house, this can be seen, and I've seen in many charts. And these need to be addressed because this is the call of the day. Again, then there is when Venus is retrograde. Now what happens is, Venus is retrograde in the 7th house. Retrograde Venus gives you no self-love. So if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? How can you give love to somebody else? This is a frequent challenge that I'm facing or I'm seeing in charts nowadays. Why should I say this? Is what happens is that in the olden times, people may have had retrograde Venus in their 7th house, but they never moved away because the society norms, the Deshkal Patra, did not allow it to happen. So even when they were apart or they were pulled back in their emotions from each other, they still stayed in the marriage. Nowadays, people don't think, because all of us know that it's just one life that I'm living here. So if I am not being loved, if I do not get that love from a person, and if I do not love myself, do I really need to stay in the marriage? So the chance of that Venus retrograde having multiple marriages is huge, because you don't get somebody who can understand that you need to love yourself first and then Learn to love yourself, and then you will learn to love others. And finally, we come to something that is repeated patterns, behavioral patterns in marriage. See, a person can get married for the second time, also, the third time it may so happen. But you see, what's happening in their life actually is that the person may change. X may change to Y, Y may change to Z. But the situations will always come up to be the same. Why? I told you, it's a karmic pattern. It's a very karmic planet. So until and unless you have burned those karmas that you've come here to burn with the partner, you may face the same pattern, the same situations. And you may need to opt out of it, or you may want to opt out of it. And again, it's from the pan into the fire. So that is also seen. So you need to first learn what you need to burn off and then move ahead. This is just the beginning. We will be discussing each of the retrograde planets or each of the 5 retrograde planets, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mars and Mercury in detail. So we will make a series out of it. But now let's move into the examples, and when we make the series, be with us please. Let's talk about Guru Dutt. Guru Dutt is, all of us know, he is a very well known Indian cinematographer, producer, and he was a director, but he had a miserable married life. Why? He was married to Geeta Dutt. In fact, before getting married to Geeta Dutt, he was in a relationship. He had eloped with somebody, but there was a lot of litigation and he had to come back home. Then he got married to Geeta Dutt, and then he still had a lot of love, he still had a lot of obsession about his muse, Wahida Rehman. And his married life was not a success. It was because of, again, I repeat, the Deshkal Patra. He could not let go of the marriage, and he could not move into another relationship. Let's talk about Renuka Shahane by wishing her a very happy 25 years of togetherness with Ashutosh Rana. Recently on her page, she had expressed that their love and dedication for 25 years. But it was not the case for her in the beginning. In the beginning, she did have a failed marriage where they parted very nicely in a friendly manner because they realized they could not get along. Now, if you look into her chart, you will see that there is a retrograde Saturn sitting in the 7th house, and that too a dual sign, making it a multiple marriage. The fact that it is also the 6th lord also adds on to not having very conducive relationships. Finally, people know Salman Rushdie, an Indian fugitive finding home in the US. He's had multiple marriages and across the globe, married people from across the globe, one of them being Padma Lakshmi, who was a very well-known chef, who is a very well-known chef. They were also married for a small period of time. And here in his chart, you see that there is Jupiter, which is retrograde in the 7th house, 9th lord and the 12th lord. So we do realize that retrograde planets give multiple marriages, but I'll again, as a disclaimer, tell you that it is not a blanket rule. As we move into the different planets, we'll see how they pan out, and if we can understand how to work with them, it need not be a multiple marriage. It could just be a makeover in the marriage. So till we meet with you again, stay tuned with this series, and till then, thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.